Hi, my name is Keesha.
Hi, my name is Shari, and we are your guides to an enlightened pathway. Come join us on a weekly quest to awaken your mind.
Oh, it's gonna fall. Look. Ah, you want to put that way up on the top? Watch what's gonna happen. Lindsay. Timber. Lindsay, you want to build this? What do you have there? Is that a big gourd or?
Mama.
She'll be back. Here, we can play with them here. There you go. Baby. Hey, your shoe's untied. Want me to tie your shoe?
You sit outside for a few minutes.
Oops. Hello, telephone. It's okay if somebody takes care of you sometimes. Well, it is. Oh, well. Okay. In a little while, okay.
Hi, welcome back. This is Keesha, and we're going to discuss the secure attachment style. We reviewed the 4 attachment styles last week. Briefly, I'll just go over. We have the secure attachment, we have the dismissive avoidant, we have the anxious preoccupied, and the fearful avoidant. And so right now, Sherry's going to give the background information with Mary Ainsworth and her stranger situation.
Hi, I'm Sherry, and what we're going to talk about is the original method developed by the psychiatrist Mary Ainsworth, who was a colleague of John Bowlby, who came up with the attachment theory. And the strange situation, what happens is that they take a mother and a child, and they set up a room that has toys and other interesting things in it, and they let the mother and the child explore that room, on their own. And then after a while, a stranger will enter into the room and talks with the mother. And then after that, the stranger will shift the attention to the child, and once that happens, the mother will sneak away, because the child is distracted by the stranger, and therefore the child is left alone with the stranger and to see their reaction. And then after that, the mother will come back. So with a secure attachment, if a child has a secure attachment, that means that they trust they have the fortitude to deal with loss. So what happens is that they were able to freely explore the room. They may cry a little bit when the mother leaves, when they notice that the mother is gone and that they're left. They might be in distress for a little while, but then they will be happy when she returns. They'll be able to be well adjusted and begin to explore the room again. So with that, it shows that they're able to get over and can handle the loss. They can handle the stress, and that's what a secure attached child will do. A secure attached child, when they grow up, they have the ability to take one relationship and deal with that relationship and be all into that relationship. They will be able to be vulnerable, and they'll be able to experience vulnerability from their partner. And they are willing to go through this over and over again with somebody because they don't mind the loss. They can get over it. They can rebound. And also, they don't go from one relationship to another. They have long-term friendships. They are, if in an argument, they're calm, and they are trying to resolve the problem. They are the ones that will, be there for you regardless. And this is all due to being able to handle the hurt and the pain. And they're willing to go through it because they know that they can get over it and build a resilience. Also, they
So basically what you're saying is, when you have a secure attachment style, you are able to have a healthy emotional interaction with others.
Yes.
You have this ability and are able to resolve conflict with having any kind of fear of loss or the detachment from that other person.
Right, and they go into the relationship with a clean slate. They see each relationship as its own. Okay. They don't judge you from being within this past relationship, whatever happened in that past relationship. Okay. They go into the new relationship with it being all brand new. Okay. Having the possibilities. A new, fresh pair of eyes. Yeah. Okay. And willing to risk and be vulnerable to be hurt, okay. But they're willing to do it because they know that they can recover. Mm-hmm. They have the ability to recover. Right. And they don't mind being hurt because they know that I guess what they're going after is worth it.
Exactly. And also they're secure in when they were a infant child, growing up, that their needs were met. Yes. They don't have a fear that they're not going to have their needs met. Right. That they're going to go without. Yeah. So they're secure in that understanding of life.
And it's very funny because I was just watching the movie Look Who's Talking, mm-hmm. with John Travolta. Okay. And how they were doing the baby, like Bruce Willis was the baby voice. Okay. And he was crying and saying, my diaper is wet. And she comes in with a bottle and feeds him.
Yeah, so that's a mismatch right there. Like
Yeah.
the child's needs are still not being met. in that
Right, even
instant.
though she's going there to attend to him, she's not attending to what he feels is his need.
Right.
She gauged it incorrectly, and therefore now it's like, okay, you don't know what I want, you don't know what I
Right.
need. And we do that in our relationships as an adult. We assume that somebody's gonna know our needs without us telling them.
Right.
Without knowing our love language. Sometimes people don't even know their love language.
That's true.
And they expect the person that they're with to know their love language and to meet whatever fantasies or whatever you built up in a relationship, that they're automatically going to meet those needs. And that's setting yourself up and that person up for failure.
And the expectations are so high sometimes going into a relationship. Like for you to have an outlook for another individual, another person, to bring about a certain amount of just happiness. If you're not there to begin with, your expectation is unrealistic. If you're looking for someone outside of yourself to bring something to your life that you aren't able to have on your own. So that's a huge problem too. But with secure attachment styles, it looks as if when you are an adult and say for instance you have that secure attachment style and you go into a relationship with that fresh view of the person that you're with, and say for instance you have issues with the other person being emotionally unavailable, then we can find ourselves sometimes going into those pitfalls where we can change from being secure and then might go into another attachment style, which we can definitely look into. With
Definitely, because it's like they say no one has one particular attachment style fully,
right?
And you can definitely change. Say like you were a secure attached person and then you got into a volatile relationship, abuse, either emotional or with physical,
mental.
So then that happens to you. Now you're an anxious person, which the anxious person is like, always, are they going to call? And I'm going to lose that person. It's like they're everything to me.
Right, a high sensitivity to being like disconnected.
Yes.
Losing that connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely all of these attachment styles is a definite base ground to start at and to question, like, what was your childhood like? What is your relationship with your parent? Because your relationship with your parent does play a role on who you choose as a partner, or how you react to that partner, and how willing you are to connect to that partner.
Right, because if you are possibly, we'll go into next week, dismissive avoidant, then you may have where you had a parent who was emotionally unavailable. They did not attend to your needs. I mean, minimal. You probably had 20% quality time of a caregiver really attending to you when you're a child a lot of times, and you learn how to soothe yourself. And so in an adult life, you are not able to emotionally connect with your own emotions.
Yes, and you see that a lot in Europe. In Europe, when they depict people in Europe, or even when you see people in Europe, they're depicted as not being emotional, and they say that Americans are emotional.
Right, over
emotional. And that is the typical stereotype of a dismissive avoidant.
And so I'm glad you said that, because then culturally there's a huge divide. Because I'm sure that if you go into the European countries, possibly even Asian countries, you'll find that it's largely different than being in the United States, I should say, where there's more of a bond and emphasis on having a bond, having love, having a connection, being all with, this in rapture and all in this love state with your significant other. So that's something else that we probably could even explore more when we go into the other attachment styles. But with the secure attachment style, it's a good place to start, so we can always compare and contrast from secure attachment style with the other three.
Right, and it's not usually depicted in movies, that secure attachment style. You can see it in Captain America on Avengers, how he relates to the other people. He doesn't mind being either in a group setting or doing stuff on his own. You can see how he's reacting to Tony Stark, who Tony Stark is a dismissive avoidant, and I think then he becomes like fearful, but then he tries to get back to like the secure. So you can see the switches that go on in that, if you want like a definite character reference.
Right.
And but they don't usually have like a secure type on the movies because there's no drama.
Right.
They don't want drama. They don't really
Minimal.
deal in drama. They try to neutralize the drama.
Right.
And it's more peaceful. That's where everybody should get to. It was like,
a healthy space.
Yes, that they don't mind being alone. They don't mind being with somebody. If they're with somebody, it's a new, fresh start.
Right.
And
they're not bringing that baggage.
Yeah,
That's the
no
key
baggage.
thing. No baggage. So, well, definitely next week when we go into the dismissive avoidance style, we'll show how, once again, you might have had an emotionally unavailable parent or caregivers. And so we'll be able to do a contrast with secure and dismissive. But please give us your feedback.
Yes, please let us know, and put on there what you think you might be. If you're a secure type, if you relate to what we just said, just give us a high five, or say that you're secure.
Until next time,
Thank you for joining us on an enlightened pathway.